Hello, welcome to the Focus on Gaming podcast, episode 86. I am Duncan.
And I'm Tom.
And on this week's episode, we're going to be chatting about Xbox Handhelds, SNES's speeding mystery, and then we're going to look at some celebrities, because who doesn't love celebrities? Celebrity culture is just amazing, yay. Anyway.
I detect sarcasm in your voice.
Just slightly. Right. So,
how you been anyway?
I'm all good. All good. I've been playing quite a lot recently, actually, because there's some quite good games out, and I've just bought a load of games on Steam as well, so I'll be probably having a few reviews. Not brand new games, but Avowed. I'm very nearly finished Avowed, so I can actually almost give a I've completed it review.
Oh, good.
But there's also Atomfall coming out this week. There's South of Midnight is out soon. I think in a couple of weeks. There's 33 Immortals coming to Game Pass as well. Oh, so yeah, plenty of games to review. But anyway, so those will be for a future episode. You been playing much?
I've been playing Doom on my phone, the original Doom.
Ooh. Not on like a pregnancy test or a kumquat or...
No, afraid not. Not this time. You never know. But it's aged badly. It really has. I was actually looking for Quake, but they don't do that on mobile. So, yeah.
Well, I think there is a way how you can play Quake on mobile. It's just, there's not a direct way how you can go, there's Quake. I think you have to have a little bit of "Arrrrr" going on. Or you have to have the original files yourself.
Yeah, which I do have, but I really can't be bothered to go into the loft, pull out the PC and load it all up. So it's not happening. And I also been playing the new Alien game on the Quest.
Oh yeah, any good? Is it as terrifying as Isolation?
Yes, but because it's on a Quest, it's not as good graphically.
It's about a bit cartoony, is it?
Yeah, I'd like to play it on the PlayStation VR 2 or the Valve VR, because I think the resolution would be much better. But yeah, it's great. It's definitely a jump scare game. I don't think it's worth the money they're charging for it.
Is it sort of full price game?
It's a full price game. I think it's like £35. We've got a demo, so but yeah, it's fun.
The Quest is a weird one, is it? Because you've got full price games which are cheap compared to home consoles and even PC. But then that's because a lot of the games are almost like mobile free to play games, aren't they? They're do this and watch adverts or buy skins or whatever. And it's just they've got to decide where they're going. Really, I think they've got to go. Are we doing free to play where people probably won't buy full price games, or are we going to go no we want full price games because it'll just get too full, the store will.
I think what we're seeing is Meta trying to jump into the PC game market via the VR, and I think they're probably heading in the direction of releasing maybe a high-end headset at some stage in the future that's going to allow it to play PC quality high-end games. And they're just sort of seeing where the market is at the moment. But you had Resident Evil at £35. You have Aliens at 30 something. What was the other one? Saints and Sinners.
Pornhub's still free though, isn't it?
Well, there is that. Yeah. That's
Obviously, I wouldn't know about that kind of thing, but
Well, of course not. No. I did. One of my friends. I convinced him to get a Quest 2.
I thought you were going to say I convinced him to go to Pornhub.
I convinced him to. Porn's bad, people don't do it. I convinced him to go and get a Quest 2 about 2 years ago, and then I helped him set up the headset. And just before I left, I typed in on Google on his headset VR porn and loaded a video up and pressed pause on the video and put it into full screen and then left, and then got a message from him going, "What have you done? What have you done? I can't get rid of it," because he didn't know how to use it. It was hilarious.
But then, oh, thank you. I've finished now. I just don't know. I don't know how to stop.
Well, he listens to this podcast, so when he gets to this, he'll be blushing. So, yeah, that is funny.
Well, yeah, we won't name and shame, but Derek.
No, definitely not.
So, well, yeah, we've been playing games for a change. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Us. I think we were gamers.
Well, so news-wise, we said about Xbox Handheld. Now, we've said for a while that Xbox Handheld sounds great idea. If they could do it cheap, if they could have a PC, open PC, and the price, I think, and have everything installed natively.
Yeah.
Now, Phil Spencer has said before that at least 2027 for a handheld, which 2 years away. Okay, yeah, it's going to be quite powerful. It should be able to play Series X style games by that point reasonably well. But what has been leaked recently is that there is an Xbox handheld coming this year. There's a big but, though. It's not an Xbox handheld. It's going to be Xbox approved or Xbox branded, but it will be, most likely, it's been leaked that it's an Asus handheld is coming out, and it will be Xbox focused. So it's basically, I can imagine that you could probably say it's like the ROG Ally 3 or whatever, because you got the ROG Ally, you got the ROG Ally X.
Yeah.
So pretty much like the ROG Ally 2, I can imagine, because it'll be more powerful. But yeah, so if it's in partnership with Windows, Microsoft, they may use this as a way of beta testing, really, a version similar to SteamOS, where you have the Xbox dashboard, but on a handheld. You will be able to access a desktop if you wish to do that, but you don't have to. You will just basically have an Xbox in your hand. But it will be the PC Xbox. So obviously you would need a PC Xbox is slightly different because there are some games on Game Pass that are only on PC or only on home console. And then when you stream via the cloud on PC, you can only stream the console games. So yeah, I'm quite excited because Asus have really been the main, I won't say the only, because you've got the Legion Go. They've been the main competitor to the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And I think they've done very well. They didn't acknowledge some problems with the original model, but they solved it for the X. And yeah, so again, it's price, whether it's open, and other than that, I'd quite happily sell my Steam Deck if I could get a lot more powerful handheld that equally plays everything and links to my exactly. If it links to my Xbox profile where I have 1,000 games, with Game Pass I have 1,000 games, and I can install all those games, I can play PC games, and I can have hopefully a better handheld version of Windows, and Windows in my hands. Fantastic. That to me is a winner, because I'm not locked into the Xbox ecosystem, but I am heavily invested.
Well, there's rumors that Valve are looking at creating an Steam OS app.
Yeah, no, that is coming. That's coming this year. Because There's a preview in the beta version of the Steam Deck at the moment, and people have already obviously ripped it to pieces to find out what's in there, so it's looking soon as if it's going to be released as a desktop thing to rival Windows. That's what they're trying to do, because at the end of the day, what's his name? Gaben. He loathes Microsoft. Absolutely, he would love to destroy them. So if he could release an OS that people could have for free, and he would love that.
That's going to be basically on every single handheld you can think of.
Yeah, I think it's likely. I think the only problem you got at the moment is that you've got a lot of online games that won't work, and you can only do workarounds, which risks your account being banned. And obviously, free to play games not too bad, but any paid game, people don't want their accounts banned. Plus, people may end up getting a hardware ban. And what you could do with the desktop is when you change some of your hardware and you get a different hardware ID or whatever, you can get a new account with a PC. If you've got a handheld, you ain't going to be changing the internals mostly.
I mean, let's face it, Game Pass can run just about on anything. So it doesn't really need a powerful handheld to play Game Pass or...
No, if you look at the Series S, I think we're nearly at the Series S is still more powerful than your handhelds that are out there. Except for some of the really expensive high-end ones. But that's because we're not the latest generation of chips and everything is quite exciting. They are pretty much at the level of, I mean, we're already at PS4 Pro and Xbox One X level ish with some of the handhelds.
Just not with the batteries.
Yeah. If you had a 4K screen in 7 inches, you'd probably get about 10 minutes of battery. But, I'm quite excited about it. Well, I think if it comes out this year and they can keep it sub £600.
Do you know what? I don't think they can price it at that. I think you're looking at $399 because of the Switch.
Totally. I think sub 600 is the limit. I think if they could get it below 400, I think that would get people in.
It's got to compete with the Switch 2 price wise, and the Switch 2, let's face it, is gonna.
Well, that's been rumored to be $400, and I did see one place £389.
Yeah,
so
that's a good price.
Yeah.
Backwards compatible. It's also got upscaling for the older games, so it's a new feature that's been found. So, look, if an Xbox handheld in whatever form can compete with that price wise, they've got a chance. But
it's got to be price wise compatible. It's got to have the desktop for me. It absolutely is got to have that. It's got to be open in some way so that I can have Steam on it, because there's no point me having 1,000 games on Steam with my Steam Deck and going, I can't play my Xbox, but I've got my Xbox to. If I had an Xbox handheld that I couldn't put Steam on, I would not be able to access my Steam games.
Yeah.
So it would be a no-go. And then also make the Windows thing work well with handheld. That's the other thing.
I just don't think Windows works well at all with handheld.
Well, no, it doesn't. That's the thing. But they are working on that in terms of making a version that is friendlier.
They've been saying that since Windows XP.
They have released touch versions because that's what Windows 8 was meant to be. Windows 8 was meant to be the desktop and tablet all in one. And I mean, look at the disaster Windows 8 was. It was an absolute disaster.
There's not been one decent touchscreen Windows version apart from the Windows Lumia phones. And
the Windows Mobile was very good, very well received. Just nobody bought it.
Yeah. Well, no, but actually, that's wrong. People bought it, just no one produced any apps for it.
Well, not enough though. Not enough people bought it.
I loved them.
Yeah.
In fact, just before they got rid of them, I was just about to upgrade, and I was like, I'm going to get the yellow Lumia phone with the really great 50 megapixel camera on it, and then they shelved it, and I was like, oh man. So
there you go.
Yeah, but
so hopefully, sometime this in 2025, we will have an Xbox handheld, but it will not be an Xbox handheld. It will be a handheld that is Xbox.
I think they're testing the waters, aren't they, to see if it's worth them releasing their own one.
I think their own one will still come. I think they're just waiting for it to be able to do the Series X style. Even if it's 720p or 1080p or whatever screen, they want it to be as smooth. They want it to be 60 frames minimum. They want it to be, and also the version of Windows is probably the thing that they've got to work on the most.
Yeah, I mean, probably end up being Windows 12 or something, or some knockoff of Windows 11. Let's hope.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the moment, Windows is what powers the Xbox dashboard anyway. It's you can install Windows apps. That is, if you search for them, a lot of them don't work on the Xbox, even though they're available, because the developers have just gone, make it available for everything, and it'll be like, move your mouse here, click here. It's like, can't do that.
I know someone that their kid uses their Xbox to do their homework, but must be painful.
Oh yes. Although me personally, I've set up my left stick on my Steam Deck to be the mouse, and my right trigger is the left mouse button, and my left trigger is the right mouse button. And I personally, I mean, it's not as fast as a mouse, nowhere near, but it's pretty easy to control.
Can't you just plug a mouse in?
You can plug a mouse in, yeah. I'm meaning like when I'm out and about.
Right.
Kind of thing. I do have a dock, yeah. I mean, I've got a dock plugged into the back of my TV in my living room permanently. So if we want to play a game together, me and my son or whatever, we can just plug it in. Away we go. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Right, so
celebrities.
Well, no, hang on. You're going to tell us about this. This Super Nintendo's been getting faster.
Oh, yeah. So, the Super Nintendo's been out for near on 35 years, and they've done some tests on the chipset within the Super Nintendo, and apparently the APU is running faster than it should do from its day of release. So apparently it should run at 32,000 hertz, and it's actually running now at 32,182, which is
now. Well, most of these things is because over the years they're basically a load of switches, CPUs, and if any of those switches break, that's a little bit of speed lost. So they should never get faster, and it has.
Yeah.
So can it run Crysis then?
Not yet. It's working, but it's in one way it's great that it's doing that, but all it's going to do is damage things quicker, and potentially it's going to be burnout on the CPU.
And let's face it, there's something there there's something there that's probably about to blow up or is swelling or is getting hot, and there's going to be something somewhere that sets somebody's house on fire.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's so low powered though, isn't it? It's unlikely to burn, explode.
well, the CPU is meant to run at 21 megahertz, and it's been clocked at running at 24.5 megahertz, which is great. I mean, the only difference you're going to see is, the music will probably be a little bit more high pitch, a little bit faster.
Would you actually? I mean, are they not linked to a frame rate, or are they actually linked to the speed of the processor?
Speed of the processor, because the American version was faster than the UK version.
Okay.
So I can't remember why that was, but yeah. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what heat it's outputting when it's overclocking, because it's not meant to run faster. And if it increasingly gets faster, where does it end? Apart from a multiple.
So, these things, obviously, if something unusual is happening to your hardware, like a battery that's swelling up, or you can smell like a capacitor that's like smells a bit, I don't know, flamey. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
of course. I once had
It just means things are going faster. Heat and fire just means speed.
Just get a fire extinguisher.
It's why you put flames on the side of a car, don't you? Go
faster.
It makes your car go faster. Flames on the side do. So obviously, an exploding battery or something like that, it's perfectly fine. Don't return it and just play your games faster.
Yeah, I once had an Atari Jaguar that I bought from a Game Station. If those that have the memories of Game Station back in the day, and plugged it in an ex-girlfriend's lounge with their nice carpets that their parents had, and then this thing started smoking out the back within seconds of turning it on. Then a flame appeared. At which point it swiftly got chucked into the garden. And that was the end of that. And I got a lot of vouchers from Game Station for the danger they put everyone in. So it's great. So yeah.
Although you didn't have a Jaguar after that.
No, well, I did, because then long story short,
you got another Jaguar.
I got another one off of eBay, but I did go into Game Station, buy a tremendous amount of Jaguar games with all the vouchers and a few other things. So it worked out in the end.
Hang on, you just bought a load of Jaguar games. Didn't yours blow up?
But I bought one off of eBay. And they were cheap then. I mean, you could get a Atari Jaguar box for like 50 quid. Now you're talking 200 for the basic.
That's fine. I mean, not that you particularly.
It's worth it, clearly.
Nah. No, it just felt like it was a phone controller, really, because it had like the 9. Was it 9 buttons or 12?
Oh, it had a lot. Put it that way.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it just felt like it was. Yeah, it wasn't a controller. It felt like it was a phone with some buttons on it. Yeah. But
well. I
mean, it was impressive when it came out. As we've talked about Jaguar before, I wanted one. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, 64-bit and all that. And it's like, And then it came out, and all the reviews I remember were like, eh.
Yeah, it was pretty naff. But then again, it was barely tested, and it had lots and lots of bugs. So, it was Atari's swan song, and it was just crap. But
I mean, Atari seems to have been in the centre or the cause of a lot of things in the gaming history. Like, not necessarily the best things, the whole Atari and Commodore thing, and the ET gaming crash, everything.
they've got a lot to answer for.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good things, I think. Yeah, a lot of good games and whatnot, but they've caused a lot of problems.
They did, but
bad Atari, naughty Atari.
The Atari Jaguar had some really good games. I mean, Doom was fantastic. So that was a great version. Cybermorph. I mean, you had Aliens versus Predator. We've talked about this before, but as a machine, it was just shit. So.
Yeah. No. Anyway, right.
moving on.
So, as we said earlier, celebrity culture. We love a bit of celebrity.
Yes.
And we love a bit of retro. So, yeah, throughout the years, there's been probably thousands of celebrity endorsed games, so like titles, celebrities in games. I mean, I don't know what would be the first ever one, but I'm back in the NES and Spectrum times. The first one that came to my mind was Daley Thompson's Decathlon.
Don't lie.
No, that was the first one. And for those that don't know, he was an Olympic decathlete. So it was basically track and field, really.
Yeah.
But it was on pretty much every platform going, every home computer platform. It wasn't on NES. But then, of course, me and you, we both came up with the same one. Sam Fox. Sam Fox. Now, if you're at work or you're a school child, please don't Google Sam Fox because you will just get tits. Sam Fox, or is, I mean, she's still going.
Is she?
Yeah, I mean, she's not still getting her boobs out, but
she must be a bit decrepit by now.
She's had lots of mental health problems over the years. I think that's so. So I think she's a bit more settled now. But yeah, no, she's still going.
Wow.
And she was a page 3 girl, which for those not in the UK as well, there's a terrible, terrible newspaper called The Sun.
Disgusting newspaper.
And what they used to have was page 3. And on page 3, it was always a lady with rather large bosoms and the tits were out, basically.
There was a game about that.
There was strip poker and all sorts, wasn't there?
No, there was a page 3 video game.
Was there? Okay. I don't want to Google that at the moment. So yeah, and she was the most famous one alongside you had Linda Lusardi as well. But Sam Fox it was a strip poker game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you got to see
on the Spectrum. Well, it was on the Spectrum and the Commodore and whatnot. So it was not good. It was not graphic. Although back in those days, you couldn't. You still couldn't buy it because it was. If I'd gone in as a 10-year-old and gone, "Can I buy this?" They would have gone, "No, no, it's too graphic for you." And I'd be like,
"Oh, there's pixelated nipples." Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I mean, NES, there was lots of.
There was loads.
Endorsements back then, but I think that it really came into its elements first on the SNES and the Mega Drive, didn't it? Really,
especially the Mega Drive.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
you
had John Madden, you had Riddick Bowe Boxing, you had Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Moonwalker, Michael Jackson.
Punch Out was on Nintendo.
Was it? Oh no, it's Mike Tyson's Boxing.
Oh yeah, Mike Tyson. Yeah.
There was so many of them. Buster Douglas had a boxing game.
Well, there was boxing. But then you had Shaq Fu. That was Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
I never played it, so I couldn't tell you.
And then you had quite a few of the American celebrity sportsmen. I mean, that probably is the biggest celebrity endorsement, isn't it? You had you had Madden, you had Tiger Woods, but that became Rory McIlroy. You had Joe Montana, you had Jack Nicklaus, you had
Jack Nicholson golf. That was brilliant.
Nicklaus. Jack Nicholson was the actor.
No, not. I'm talking about the golfer.
Yeah, Jack Nicklaus. Nicklaus.
We had Nigel Mansell's F1 challenge.
Oh yeah, because he was the most. Why didn't they get him in loads of games? Because he was a real sort of exciting enigmatic man, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Hello, I'm Nigel Mansell, and I drive Formula One cars.
Not as bad as Nick Faldo's golf, though.
Oh God. At least he had a bit more going for him, Nick Faldo. Nigel Mansell really was the most boring. I mean, the guy was the fastest driver in the world, driving 170 miles an hour around a corner kind of thing. And then he interviewed and he'd be like, "Hello, yes, yeah, it was a very good race. Play my game. It's very exciting."
He had Nigel Mansell's Indie Challenge, and he had the F1 Challenge as well. We had 2 games, and they were good. They were good games.
Now, a big one that we were talking about that was off air was Michael Jackson. I think we could probably have a whole episode of the games that Michael Jackson was in. Mm-hmm. Now, the big one, obviously, was Moonwalker. Did you ever play that game?
Yep, I had. I had it on the
Amstrad. On the Mega Drive, it was a pretty good game, wasn't it?
Mega Drive was good. The arcade was better, and I briefly owned the PCB for the arcade version that I could plug into the MVS Neo Geo, and that was great to play. The arcade version was definitely the best version. The Amstrad version being the worst. But he also was in Channel 5. The dance game on the Dreamcast, and he also was in Ready to Rumble Boxing. And
yes, he was.
He produced the music for Sonic 3.
Yes, I heard about that. It was he did it under a pseudonym at first, didn't they?
Yeah,
didn't they?
And then it was shelved. They got rid of it, and then
they only actually confirmed that it was many years after he died, didn't they?
Yeah, they snuck it back in. So you had Stranger in Moscow and I can't remember the others, but Stranger in Moscow was one of them. But there was others as well that made their way into the game. And it's only when you look back and you go, yeah, I get it. And he was heavily involved. And he was obviously, you had the Michael Jackson dance games on the Wii, the dance experience games. Yeah.
Yeah, now I mean Shaq Fu. I'm just looking up here. They were on. It was on the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, Mega Drive, and there was also ported to Game Gear, Game Boy, and Amiga. But it was weird. It was like was it side scroller? I think I had played it, but it was many years ago. I played it.
I never played it, so I couldn't tell you.
I think it was just like a really stupid Streets of Rage style game, which Shaq, I mean, if you look at him now, he's quite a funny guy and everything, but it was just weird.
Yeah.
So why not have a basketball game? But anyway,
is this the one where he shot out the basketball as the weapon and it burst into flames?
I don't know. I'm just trying to have a little look of a. Oh no! It's like I think it's like a one-on-one style Streets of Rage style game. Yeah. So it's like a side-scrolling one-on-one.
Yeah.
Weird. I only played it via emulation many years after it was out, and that was many years ago, as it was. But it's I think it's one of the weirdest ones. Although I've seen in the research for this, I've seen all sorts of things. Like Jamie Oliver had a game on, I think the DS or something like that.
He did, yeah.
Which, cooking games, easy.
Why not?
Easy to do. But at the same time, don't have it boring. Have it like a cartoon sort of style. Don't have a picture of the actual person and they go, "Oh, look, you can cook like me." No, you can't. It's a stupid game.
One of the ones we were talking about off air was Celebrity Deathmatch, which was...
yes, well, games that don't necessarily have the permission of the celebrity to use the celebrity.
Yeah.
I never actually played the game.
It was a
I
really
watched the
fun game to
cartoon.
play. I really enjoyed it.
Because again, Celebrity Deathmatch was a stop frame animation show, and it would have like Eminem versus
Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna or something.
Marilyn Manson.
But it would have a a WWE style. Oh my God, Madonna's had her head ripped off, so I don't know. Michael Jackson's come in and beaten Eminem to death or whatever. This kind of thing. It was very much jokey.
Yeah,
and there was it was just a side on. It used that sort of stop frame animation still, but it was just a beat 'em up, really, wasn't it?
Do you know one we haven't mentioned? It's the spitting image game.
Yes, I had that on the Spectrum on the 48K, and again that was a beat 'em up, but it was a very early days beat 'em up. So it was. I still remember you could. Who was it who had a stretching neck? And there was like Gorbachev who would pull like I think he used to take the birthmark off his head or something and throw it at people, or something like that. And then there was Maggie Thatcher had her purse or something like that. And so you had I think you had Ronald Reagan, Maggie Thatcher, Pope John Paul II, Gorbachev. There was Botha, who's a South African. Let's just say politician.
That's a political answer.
Probably a couple of others. I don't know. I can't remember. But so very much a 1980s style. List of world figures. I think there might have been Mother Teresa. There may have been Mother Teresa. So obviously, Mother Teresa beating up John Paul II. It was quite a weird thing, but it was two buttons. It was you could punch, kick, and special move, and that was it. There was no up, left, and then punch, and it would do a special move. It was you punch them, you kick them, and you did a special move at them. But this is literally probably 35 years since I played that game. Probably more than that. Although I bought it, that was another one that back in the day when it said not suitable for children on the box, and I just walked up into the shop and went, "I'll have that, please." And they went, "Yep, sure." There you go.
Especially if you went to the one in Lakeside in Thurrock, the one down Brompton Walk, they would literally sell you anything. It was all imports as well, so you could,
this was back up in Midlands, up north, as you call it. I played that one. I would say I played it to death, but it was definitely I should have listened to the reviews because it got very boring very quickly.
Yeah, but back in the day, you would look on the back of the box, look at the graphics, and say that looks cool, and then you just buy it.
Well, you see, I used to get your Sinclair, and the reviews were all. I mean, they weren't just this is a 7 out of 10. They were all like this, it was like 54 out of 100 kind of thing. So it reviewed really poorly, and I was just like, it looks really funny though. And because it was a full price game. Even back in those days, full price games were about £5.
Yeah,
something like
unless
that.
You got the big box version, and then they were $9.99.
I remember it came in a sort of, I don't know, 20 centimeter box. So not a PC style big box, but a bigger than it wasn't just a plastic tape. It was a cardboard box. I remember that much.
You used to get a poster in it, and then the cassette would be in a see-through plastic bag, and
although I had the same thing with the Viz game, which that one was definitely not for children.
It was good though.
It was okay. It was better than the spitting image game.
Yeah.
But the Viz one I had to hide to make sure my mum didn't find it because it probably came out when I was about 11. and I bought it, and so yeah, my mom would have been straight down the shop going, "You sold this to my son."
I can just imagine her walking in, going to you, "What are you playing?" And you go, "Oh, nothing, just the fat slags." You know.
And what was his name? Buster Gonads.
Buster Gonads, yep.
Because basically the Viz game was just a load of mini games, but yeah. So, would you say? What would you say is the best celebrity? I'll say like an actual, one that a celebrity has chosen to endorse game that you can think of.
For me, it's probably got to be Moonwalker on the arcade.
Yeah, I haven't played the arcade version, so I wouldn't notice the difference. But yeah, the Genesis Mega Drive one was very good. I was playing that last year sometime.
After this episode, Duncan, go and find Moonwalker and play it arcade version. It's a vastly different scenario.
Okay.
But I think the best overall celebrity endorsement ever has to be Mickey Mouse Castle Village.
Ooh, sneaky celebrity endorsement because he's a cartoon character. Oh, can we allow that? Oh,
yeah, I think we can.
Yes, I think we can. Yeah. So I'm just looking at screenshots. Moonwalker Arcade is isometric.
Yep.
Okay.
It's very good. I only had like 5 levels, I think it was, or 6 levels, but it was very good.
From 1990. Is it crazy though that we played that and only 7 years later he was dead? Or was it 2007? It was 2007, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 17 years later he was dead.
Oh.
Crazy. But that's what
unless you lost at the game, of course, then you'd be dead in seconds. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Essentially what he did in the game.
Yeah. So. I mean, for me, it probably would be one of the sport ones. Probably, I do love a bit of Tiger Woods. I know they were originally just PGA Tour.
I love PGA Tour,
but some of the Tiger Woods has been around for quite a while now. So there was some of the early versions of PGA Tour were Tiger Woods ones, and they were good, like PGA 96 and all that, on the Mega Drive were good, but they were just getting better, and they were getting to 3D by the time that Tiger Woods started endorsing them. And it was back in those days on PS1 and things like that, you were like, oh, wow, this is almost photorealistic.
Yeah.
This is a 3D representation of the course. Oh, it won't get any better than that. And they were fantastic games that I liked.
Tiger Woods Pro Shot on the Wii. I think it was Pro Shot, something like that anyway. And you could play 2-player or 4-player, I'm not sure. And it was just straight into the game, nothing too drastic. And you just play a bit like Wii Sports, but it was so good.
Now, one that we haven't jumped on is obviously music games. You had so many music games. Now, obviously all the Guitar Hero versions are obvious ones. You've had everything from Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Between you've had the Beatles, you've had Green Day. I think you've had various hip hop ones. I don't know, but anyway, you've had all sorts of bands. Now, Metallica, that was probably one of the most popular ones. I think Linkin Park did one, but you've also had lots of dance ones. I'm looking at one here. There was Britney's Dance Beat.
I bet you bought that, didn't you?
I probably would have wanted to hit her more than one more time.
You're so inappropriate.
I mean, we've got the thing at the moment. Was she a little bit going a bit loopy, or was she just being abused by her dad? I don't know, but she did shave her head and get abused.
Well, the music was more interesting when she was nuts, so.
But still, it's a And she was just everywhere, wasn't she? Endorsed. If they could put Britney Spears' name on it, and Britney's Dance Beat came out on. Oh, I don't know. 5 of her songs, and passing the auditions unlocked a few concert videos and a huge sense of disappointment. Yeah, I'm trying to find out where what it was on. Hang on. Britney.
Must be PlayStation 1.
Oh, there was Britney Spears' American Dream and Dance Beat. There we go. That was American Dream was a mobile one. The Britney's Dance Beat was 2002. I'm just trying to work out. Sorry, what format it was on? Oh, it's PlayStation 2 and PC and Game Boy Advance. Oh,
you're going to stand there with a Game Boy Advance dancing? Don't think so. Can you imagine?
Oh God, terrible. Oh,
you barely see the thing in the
thankfully, I think it was a controller game. It wasn't an iToy game.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the cover now, and it's just got her in a boob tube top, that kind of thing.
Sounds horrendous.
Doesn't even look like Britney Spears, but no. Anyway,
the other thing we've forgotten about is SingStar.
Oh yeah,
obviously the karaoke game. You had Take That. You had you had
Party.
The only one I can remember is Take That, but there was lots of them.
Well,
I enjoyed those games.
Hang on, SingStar versions. Here we go. Let's have a look. So SingStar. See, I didn't. Although it came out on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2 was the last PlayStation that I've owned.
Yeah.
So I didn't really.
I think PlayStation 3 got the most.
You got obviously SingStar 80s, SingStar 90s, SingStar ABBA. Come here. SingStar. I'm just looking. There's various. They're like general ones. There's like Motown. There's a chart hits. There's a guitar one. I'm just trying to see if there's specific
ABBA,
ones.
Take That.
Germany, Turkey. No, I can't find any other than ABBA. Oh yeah, they Take That. So it was ABBA and Take That. Oh, there's a Queen as well. Queen.
Oh yeah, Queen, and there's a Disney one. So.
Well, one celebrity endorsement that has been extremely successful, and there is a number 3 and 4 remake coming to Game Pass. I think it is straight away, and that's Tony Hawk.
Hawk. Getting a new one, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we're getting a new one apparently, but that there's Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Remake. Well, apparently there's a 3 and 4 that's coming out very soon, and it's coming straight to Game Pass. So,
and it is coming on the PlayStation as well. In case any PlayStation.
Yes, I think it is. Well, I mean, talking of things being on the PlayStation, apparently there is a Starfield mod that somebody noticed that has a PlayStation logo on it. It was literally one mod that had the PlayStation logo on it, and the people who create it are in some kind of beta. Yeah. So they reckon that that's going to be announced soon, which will be another one.
We knew it was coming, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Bethesda games, I don't know why they didn't just go, it's coming to PlayStation, but it'll be, I don't know, a year or 6 months or whatever, exclusive to Xbox. Just do what PlayStation do with PC. See, I mean, I think people would happily wait for it on PS5.
I think with Forza that's just coming out on the PlayStation, I think we're going to end up with most of the Xbox library is going to come to PlayStation.
Yeah, I think the big ones will. I think the end of it in terms of like, that's it, it's all happening. It will be when Halo. If Halo appears on PS5, that will be That will be like, yep, they're doing everything.
Yeah.
But I think they just, at the end of the day, the Master Chief Collection's been out for what, 9-10 years, 8-9 years. Who cares if it comes out on another platform? I really don't care. It'd be great that more people can play it. Now, if they go, the next games are coming out day one on PlayStation, I don't know why they don't just go, right, you want to play Indiana Jones? Yep, you can play it 6 months later. You want to play Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation? Yep, you can play it 6 months later. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
I don't think we're getting Indiana Jones on the PlayStation, are we?
Yeah, it's coming out in April.
Oh, is it?
They announced when they is it the Game Awards? I think it was the Game Awards when they had the final trailer. It was like the big reveal at the end of it was, we're like, and just you've seen the trailer, and now we've just got some more news, and then they went, play PS5 spring 2025. And it's like, okay, cool. So that's out. It did say spring, so they haven't actually announced a date, but there's been leaks saying it'll be in April.
It does look really good.
It is. It's a great game. It's not Uncharted. It's not Tomb Raider. It is a first person. It is a stealthy puzzler. So if you like Thief, if you like Hitman, no, not Hitman. Yeah, but Thief. I think Thief is probably the most accurate one.
I'm still pissed off that we can't explore the pyramids.
that was a bit of a tease, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Although technically you do, I think you go under the.
It's not.
I can't remember now, but no, it wasn't. You walk up to the pyramids and go, "Oh, I want to go there."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll let them off. Maybe it'll come in an update. You never know.
I'm just looking at. I said about Michael Jordan. He had a game on the SNES called Chaos in the Windy City. Windy City, that's Chicago, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. So I'm just looking that up now, and
it wasn't very good.
Not good at all. Although it can't be worse than some of them. I'm looking at David Beckham. Go Beckham! Adventure on Soccer Island on the Game Boy Advance, and it's just this. I could have drawn a better sprite on the Game Boy Advance. I think, even with the limited resolution. I think, it doesn't.
Can't be worse than that dodgy statue he had made of himself at that time. You ever see that?
Well, did he make it, or I think he just went and sat by it and probably just went, off air and not in front of the cameras. Probably went, "What the hell was that?"
Good impression.
Oh, thank you. Hello, I'm David Beckham, and I'm worth about £500 million.
It's close to your Nigel Mansell impression, in fairness.
No, that was Nigel Mansell. He's from the Midlands as well, so he talks like this. Play my game, it's really exciting.
All we need now is Alan Sugar. We'll be laughing.
No, I'm not doing a Scottish accent.
Alan Sugar is not Scottish.
Not Alan Sugar. I'm thinking of Alan Hansen.
Oh my God.
Alan Sugar. Hang on. So, you're fired. Yeah, he's our Donald Trump that hasn't quite become such a weirdo.
Yeah, and he's still a billionaire.
And he's probably give him Alan Sugar his due. He probably is a better businessman than Donald Trump because he didn't have a daddy giving him £1 million.
Yeah, that's about right.
He came from the East End, didn't he?
He did.
But anyway, he does our version of The Apprentice. So yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
Let's not get into that. Right.
I think we've exhausted all things celebrity. So,
yeah, I mean, we could go on for a million. I mean, if you think of a celebrity, there's probably some kind of endorsement nowadays, some kind of video game tie-in and everything. Yeah, all the way to what's his name, Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. But that's the thing. Nowadays, you've got all the motion capture of the face, which means you've got Alone in the Dark that's been out recently. That Jodie Comer and David, what's his name? David, whatever his name is, that's in Stranger Things. So they're not really endorsements anymore, unless they're things like Rory McIlroy golf or
most unmarketable person on the planet.
I know. When that first came out, I was like, really, just yeah. But at least Nigel Mansell drove Formula One cars.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Rory McIlroy. Hello, yes, I hit a ball around the green very well, and I'm very rich. Oh, boring people. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, celebrities, they suck mostly, but they don't.
So if you've got anything to share on celebrity gaming or the Xbox handheld, jump on our Facebook page, Focus on Gaming. And
find all our episodes at focusongaming.co.uk and the links to our Facebook page. And
like and subscribe as always.
Like and subscribe. And we will see you.
Dead, but we'll be back next week.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be better next week. And yeah.
Till next time.
We'll see you episode 87. Bye.